excited to be here. They tell me that Braden Smith is pretty good around here, so just heard the news that we locked him up, so pretty fired up for that. It's been a good day, great day at work. Sun stayed out long enough so it wasn't too hot, but yeah, it was a great day, great first day.
How do you grade yourself? I mean, we're going to look at completions, or how do you grade yourself day to day?
I mean, a little bit of everything. How were you, just understanding your reads, your progressions, getting through the play calls, all of that. Accuracy, completions, all of that's part of it. There's going to be mistakes out here, especially our first day. There's going to be some good, some bad, some ugly. But we'll just get back in and learn from it. So it wasn't perfect today, never will be, but a lot of good stuff out there.
Hey, Carson, the COVID situation is real this season, just like it was last year.
Yep.
Where do you fall down on that? I know the team has had some discussions back and forth, but as a starting quarterback, it's getting more attention on it.
Yeah, I mean, the COVID situation is real, and you mentioned it. Decision as far as vaccines is everybody's personal decision, and I like around here we respect and respect everybody's decision one way or the other, and we're going to rally together and follow the protocols and do everything we can to do nothing to derail this season. We got a lot to play for, a lot at stake, and a lot of guys are excited for it, so we're not going to let that be a distraction. We're going to focus in on what we can control and just come in every day ready to work.
But with that said, though, Carson, with some guys divided up, the way the unvaccinated players and the vaccinated ones, as far as being in the buildings and stuff like that, does that make things harder to get things done? How do you look at that?
Yeah, I mean, it can if you let it. I think they had a good system here last year, and I've already seen a good system in place to not let that be a distraction. We're going to get as much work done as we can. We're going to follow the protocols and do what the league tells us we can and can't do. I think everybody wishes we had it the old way again, but we're going to honor the protocols the best way we can and not let it be a distraction.
Carson, do you feel not pressure, but just a little more onus to do have to kind of protect yourself, vaccinated or not? Because you know what the stakes are as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, starting quarterback or everybody on this team, we all feel that sense of, we have to respect it, and make good decisions. Like I said, to do nothing to derail this season. So, whether I'm the starter, everybody's in this together, one way or the other, and we all got to do our part to keep everyone safe.
Carson, are you in a sharing mood? Are you vaccinated?
That's a personal decision.
Good.
Carson, knowing how long the offseason was, knowing Colts picking you up during the offseason, how excited were you just to get here today and have this day here with the team?
Yeah, I was telling Coach Brady, coming out here before, I said I'm a little amped up. I got to kind of tone it down. Feels like the first day of school again. Coming out here, beautiful setting for training camp. You got farmland all around you. My type of place. So it was a lot of fun out there today. And like I said early on, I just had to tone it down a little bit. I was a little amped up.
Carson, what do you think your conversations be like with Frank? What will your conversations be like with Frank the rest of today?
What will they be like?
Yeah, will we talk to him at all?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he tunes into every meeting, and we talk, individually or as a position group and all that stuff. So he's just as involved as he can. I know it's killing him to not be out here, and he's doing well, but he's doing everything he can to still be a part of it as much as possible.
What do you learn about the guys you're throwing to? I know they came out to your place in Texas and you got some extra work in, and these are still new teammates to you. What have you learned about that?
Yeah, a lot of talent and a lot of versatility. That's what I've seen. A lot of explosiveness from receivers, running backs, tight ends. Great dudes that really understand football, and I think that allows us to be able to do something special because talent takes you so far, but understanding the game and the ins and outs of plays and being on time and where you're supposed to be, understanding zone coverages, all that stuff. A lot of smart football players out here.
That'll make it easier on you because there's just so much new for you.
100%.
And having those guys that have been in the system.
100%. Yeah, having guys that have been around Coach Reich and the system, and obviously there's going to be some new wrinkles and some new things that we're kind of all learning together, but just for them to be on top of their stuff definitely helps me to play fast and play confidently.
I'm sure a lot of that receivers during the off season. About roughly, give or take, how many workouts have you guys had together?
Oh boy. Well, we had some before our little OTA couple weeks. Had a handful, and then there was like 2 weeks in the summer. I had a bunch of the guys down, and then a couple of the rookies down to Texas down there. So it was probably almost every other week I was getting some work in with teammates. So it was.
The fact that you had to say, "Oh boy," and think about it.
Yeah.
How many workouts you guys?
It's been good. It's been good. I've been in California with a couple of them, Texas. We've been here a handful of times. it's the thing I love about this group is they want to work. So all off season they were bothering me. Hey, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? So it's been really good.
Person, a lot of that was obviously focused on the field, but was there some off the field benefit to some of that time you guys spent together, and what was that?
Absolutely. I mean, the off the field stuff is what we all cherish. You know, it's the relationships you make in the locker room that are the stuff that you'll remember long after this game. And to be able to come in here this summer and this spring and just get to know some of these guys off the field, have them down to Texas. We went to Top Golf, went golfing, kind of did some fun things, had a lot of fun, and those bonds will really help us out to really get to know each other and know each other's character in the heat of the moment, that we can really trust and rely on each other.
How was your golf game? Because you play a lot of golf with some of these guys, right?
I just started, so it's getting better. It's getting better. It was getting better, and now it's done for a little while. So we'll see next spring how it's going to be.
Okay, a couple more.
Today, I know that that's going to be an emphasis anyway, but is it especially so in training camp as you're trying to learn these guys on the field?
Yeah, I think that's something that Coach Reich has done a tremendous job. Just going back, even my time with him in Philly, and now what I've watched on tape the last couple of years here, is he's always going to make sure he spreads the love and shares it. And so that's going to happen out here in training camp naturally, just because of the play call and how Coach builds it. But especially, like you mentioned, in training camp, trying to figure out, okay, who's going to help us, what's going to be their strengths, and all of those things. And something I'm looking forward to all season, to just really share the love and everybody get involved.
Question, it sounds like Jim Irsay addressed the team last night and made it pretty clear what the expectations are. And every team wants to win, but you get a feeling walking in right away that this team has really high expectations and wants to win right away.
Yeah, we do. And I love that, because I've always been wired that way, to have high expectations. And coming in here, I could feel it in the spring, right after the trade, just the culture was different. I mean, it's a family. It truly feels like a family. And football, it's always talked about in a locker room. All that's always talked about. It's a family. But something feels different here, and even in the community, even with you guys, and it just feels like a big family with everyone supporting and encouraging each other. But the expectations are there, and having Mr. Irsay talk to us got me kind of fired up last night. And he still's got a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and I think it got a lot of guys excited.
Okay. Robert, you got one? Last one here.
Talking to Scott and Marcus, they talked about just really the footwork that you've been working on, timing things up. You're really drilling down early on. What are the things you feel like you really were concentrating on and you guys were trying to get on the same page with?
Yeah, I would say it's nothing, eye-opening. It's really just timing up my feet within the new system, the new plays. There's a lot of carryover from the offense that I've been in the last couple of years, but there's some differences as well, and just really trying to make sure my footwork is always on point within the timing of a certain play. And working with coaches all offseason, I think it's in a good place. There's going to be some miscues and everything out there, but I feel pretty good with it.
Do you feel like you see things clearer because of that? When everything's timed up, everything just opens up in a way that it wouldn't when things are a little disjointed?
Yeah, I think seeing is part of it, but just being on time, the mechanics, everything starts with your lower body and being in sync and being in rhythm. So I feel like I'm in a good place with that.